What are we judging it on here? Well, we're judging it on the greatest guitar players of all time, and he's not as good as the others, so yeah, he's overrated as fuck. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I say a little bit different. Many channels have done exactly what I'm going to do, so it's no different to pretty much... there's nothing unique about what I'm going to do. In 2023, Rolling Stone put out a 250 greatest guitarists of all time list. This caused a lot of controversy. There were a lot of people who left out. There were a lot of people who were on it that people felt shouldn't have been. But this compelled me to go through, to scour the webs and get a list together of 10 most overrated guitar players. So I found the 10 that people spoke about the most, and this is a mix of metal, rock, pop guitar players, and we're going to go through the list, and rather than me just saying yeah these are all overrated, I'm going to basically say yay or nay. I'm going to say whether I agree. Samurai Guitarist a while ago did a video where he was he basically did the same thing, where he did are they underrated, are they overrated, or are they just right? So I'm going to take that approach with it. Anyway, interestingly enough, before we do get into this, one guitar player who always comes up on the most overrated list of guitar players was actually not on this list, and that's Zakk Wylde. And therefore, I will actually spare my thoughts on Zakk Wylde for maybe another video. I'll keep you guessing, sons of bitches. So like I said, I've got 10 guitar players that I'm going to go through here now, and I'm going to do them in descending order. So I'm going to choose them in whatever order they came in on this list. And this first one is quite surprising. Dimebag Darrell. Now, he's number 131 on this list. I was quite surprised he was that low, to be honest, because there were a lot of guitar players that he was... I think Kurt Cobain was above Dimebag Darrell. No disrespect to Kurt, fantastic songwriter, but when it comes to guitar playing, I mean, of course, you know, the songwriting is obviously a part of it, but it's guitar players. Just getting rid of some dust there. So like I said, on this, he's 131 on the greatest guitarists of all time, but he's constantly turning up on the most overrated guitar players of all time. So what do I think? I think Dimebag was a wonderful guitar player. Meant huge amounts to me back in the 90s. One of the key players that made me want to play guitar in the first place, along with Brian May, James Hetfield, of course. So for me, No, I don't think he is overrated at all. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's just about right. He had the rhythm chops. He did some incredibly tight, incredibly heavy riffs, but he also had that real fluid legato style guitar playing for the lead stuff. So no, I don't think he is overrated at all. I think he's just right. Now we're moving on to Slash at 105. On the greatest guitarist of all time, he was in at number 105. Again, there were tons of guitar players who were way above him, well, 104. Many of whom should not have been. But again, Slash is another one of those guitar players who's always on the overrated list. Now, there's a part of me that can understand why, but I think this is more of an over-familiarity thing. How many guitar players can you think of who have as memorable lead lines as Slash? You know what I mean? How many people do you know who can hum a Slash lead line? I mean, that says a lot, surely. Writing music that is memorable and, you know, captures your imagination and just... No, I think again, Slash is actually where he should be. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's where he should be. This is a bit of a strange one. Kerry King. Kerry King above Slash as well, and Dimebag Darrell. And also there's no Jeff Hanneman on this list at all. Jeff Hanneman was completely omitted from it, and I think most of us know that Jeff actually wrote much of the best stuff. So yeah, I was very surprised with this one. Now, Kerry King is a good guitar player, but not a great lead player at all. But he has written some pretty goddamn great riffs over the years. And he's definitely flown the flag for many, many years. However, there's a part of me that does want to say overrated in this. When it comes to the rhythm side of things, great player. Solos, not so much. Then again, he has written... But then again, a lot of the really great stuff was done by Jeff Hanneman. I'm going to go with Overrated. Yeah, but just I'm veering towards overrated with Kerry King. I think we'll go with that. Coming in at 47 on the list, above Dimebag Darrell, above Slash, above Kerry King. That's fair enough. The Edge from U2. Now, much like Slash, he has written some very, very memorable stuff. You could argue that this is somebody he's done a lot with a little, but you take away his delay pedal, and what do we have here? I don't think it's, I don't know, U2 are not a band I look at in terms of like virtuosos. They're competent musicians who write good songs, and they have written some great songs. It's easy to shit on U2, but they have written some great songs. But as a guitar player, you can't really say that the Edge is a fantastic guitar player. He has written some great songs, and again, what are we judging it on here? Well, we're judging it on the greatest guitar players of all time, and he's not as good as the others, so yeah, he's overrated as fuck. At number 28 of 250, David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, another one who turns up all over the place in regards to overrated guitar players. This one I find a bit more difficult to deal with. Great songwriter, great singer as well. I think I've always preferred his voice to Roger Waters. Now, he's not the most technical of players, and you don't have to be a great guitar player. In fact, I think that David Gilmour is actually the perfect example of that, because I can't think of a bad David Gilmour solo. Whenever I hear his solos, every note just seems to be exactly where it's supposed to be, and it's just perfect. I'm a huge fan of David Gilmour. Do I think he's overrated? No, I think he's just right. Doing a lot of thumbs up today. I'm in quite a nice mood, considering I've had a really, really fucking shit day. Don't worry about it, people. You just get on with your own lives. Coming in at 23 on the greatest of all time, we've got James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett together. Again, I'm still surprised at the lack of Jeff Hanneman, because earlier on we had Glenn Tipton and KK Downing were on the list as well. They don't turn up on the overrated guitarist lists at all. That's why they're not on here. This one is actually more about Kirk Hammett as opposed to James Hetfield. I think James Hetfield is an incredible rhythm guitar player. I don't care what anybody says. He's one of the greatest. Kirk Hammett, however, I mean, as of late, his guitar playing is sloppy as hell. In regards to his solos in particular, he tries to palm it off under the guise of improvisation, man. It just fucking sounds lazy and sloppy. There was a video that was released not so long ago, and since I've seen this video, I can't get it out of my head. Did Joe Satriani write all the solos on those early Metallica albums? Not Kill 'Em All, of course. We know that Dave Mustaine wrote those solos, and Kirk Hammett just did them. Dave Mustaine was in Metallica, by the way. Did you know that? Dave Mustaine wasn't on this list. That's pretty criminal as well, now that I think about it. But ever since I heard that kind of actually makes perfect sense. If you listen to the solos on Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Unjustice for All, they're so memorable, they're so musical. Much like I was saying about Slash earlier, you just have these memorable lines that are so hummable. That really was the case on those three albums. From the Black Album onward, it has been very much the wah-wah drenched. That's not to say there hasn't been some good solos. There has been. But they've gotten less and less as the years have gone on. Ever since I heard that theory, that did actually kind of make a lot of sense to me. Now, Kirk Hammett has also written a lot of great riffs for the band as well. So you have to take that into account. He's also been one of the greatest metal bands of all time. Biggest, certainly. But I would veer towards slightly overrated. I think he's about where he should be. He is still a great guitar player. He has written some great solos. But as of late, fucking woeful. So yeah, we'll go with slightly overrated. Next up, we've got Tom Morello. This is a difficult one, because Tom Morello did... I mean, he was very revolutionary back in the day. I hadn't really heard much like what he was doing back then. He is a bit of a shredder as well. He never really got to show that off as Rage Against the Machine, but he is one of those kind of He is one of those shredder guys. Of course, he used the kill switch on his guitar to get that sort of DJing. Wait. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it unless you comment enough, in which case I'll do it in another video. But I do have guitar planned for the next video as well, so it's coming. It's coming, people. I know you'd have thought that this would have been a good opportunity to do it, but there's so many of these guitar players, I don't really know how to play much of their stuff. Anyway, I'm panicking. Tom Morello. I think he's a bit overrated, and he's a bit of a one-trick pony in many ways. But then again, could you say that for a lot of guitar players? No, I certainly don't think he's number 18. You know, that's maybe one way of looking at it. He's not a better guitar player than Dimebag or Gilmour, or you know what I mean. That's if he'd have been maybe sort of in the upper 200, the upper 100s into the 200s, maybe I would have had less of an issue with it. I'm gonna go with slightly overrated for Tom Morello. There we go. All right, this one's going to annoy some people. Keith Richards. I'm going to be honest with you, and this is going to annoy quite a few of you, I'm sure. I fucking hate Keith Richards. I don't mean him as a guitar player. He just always struck me as a slimy little fucker. I've never really gotten the rock and roll, warrior. I think once you've got a certain amount of money, you're just not rebellious anymore. You're just somebody who can get away with shit because you've got a lot of money. Now, when it comes to Rolling Stones songs, I love a lot of Rolling Stones songs. I mean, he's certainly but we're here to judge the guitar playing. He is a great guitar player. He's written some great songs. There's no denying that. I'll go with slightly overrated, I feel. I mean, the sheer amount of great riffs that he has written has to count for something, right? And as much as I'm not a fan of him, it's still Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. So, didn't really answer that, did I? Jimmy Page. Now, I have to say, the more I learn about Led Zeppelin over the years, the less I like them. I mean, they are still a fucking great band. What am I saying? I love Led Zeppelin. They're great. No Quarter is my favourite. I fucking love that riff, my God. And he is a badass guitar player. I mean, Jimmy Page, how many guitarists or people who would go on to become guitarists were influenced by Jimmy Page? How many of the musicians that you love and respect from your childhood said about having his picture on the wall and looking up at probably one of this very picture maybe even, and just, that's what I want to do in my life. Great rhythm player, great lead player. No, he's not overrated at all. You can't say Jimmy Page is overrated. Nah, I'm not having that. And lastly, the number one greatest guitar player of all time, according to Rolling Stone magazine, and one of the most overrated, according to many people on the Tinterweb, it is, of course, Hendrix. Many people call him Jimi Hendrix, those of us with YouTube channels that are doing somewhat well, we get to call him Hendrix. Do I think he's overrated? No, I don't. I think it's very easy to look back and try and put that tag on him. But at the time, this guy was revolutionary. All the other players were in awe of Hendrix. Clapton, who was another one who was on this list, a lot of people wanted to talk about what an overrated guy Clapton is. I would be more inclined to agree with that. But, these great players were all blown away by Hendrix. In fact, there's the story of Clapton actually watching him live and being visibly shaken and asking someone, was he really that good? He was innovative as hell, you know what I mean? He came out with so many... He in many ways, he is the guitar player. I mean, how many people still think of Hendrix when they think of just cool as fuck, so capable, had a great sense of rhythm, great rhythm player, real feel, a real soul in his playing. And his leads were just, they sang at the time. I get it's easy to look back and maybe try and say, oh, maybe it is overrated. I mean, by today's standards on a technical level, he's nowhere near what a lot of players are nowadays. But, I mean, come on. No, I think Hendrix is exactly where he should be. How can you not... I mean, well, having said that, for me, I'd probably put Brian May above Jimi Hendrix. I think Brian May is absolutely outstanding. I think he was in Brian May was in the 20s. I think Brian May is an amazing guitar player. Okay. I think we're done. Just a quick video for you guys. I'm going to head off now. I'm quite tired. You've probably felt that throughout this video. Very little energy going on. My car's still fucked. Got to buy a new one. That's good.